Before we get started, I want everybody to know that my master brush pack for the Ibis Paint program is now 50% off. That's right, 50%. It includes 150 brushes that I customly made for the program, and of course my magical blender tool, which you guys have been begging me for. The sale will only last for 1 week. That's right, 7 days before it is back up to standard price. So if you want to get it right now for cheap, hurry up to my Ko-fi shop right now. There'll be a link in description and also at the top of this video. And with that, thank you so much, and let's get to the video. I think every single artist that's watching right now has been in this position before. About to draw something, probably looking at references, and then you finally have some inspiration. It's time to start drawing, so you start sketching and sketching. You're like locked in, you're in the zone right now. Your construction, you got your proportions, everything's looking nice. Then after that, you look at this really dynamic and flowy sketch. I mean, it's one of your favorite sketches ever. Like honestly, the sketching process looks it's just so perfect. It's one of the best sketches you've ever done in your life. And you are low-key regretting this next part. The line art. You take a deep breath, you put your pen on the paper, you start doing your line art, you erase your sketch, and then you're left with the worst drawing you've ever seen. Your amazing drawing went from a 10 out of 10 to a 2. Now you're sitting there just staring at the drawing like, what the heck just happened? What did I just, what? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I'm here to tell you guys also that you don't even have to do line art to finish a drawing. What if you could just take that sketch you just made, color it, and it still looks good? So that's what we're talking about today. Pretty much, do you really need to do line art for your artwork? I will say that all these opinions are mine and maybe yours as well. I'm here to tell you right now that line art is not necessary at all. Line art is completely optional in my opinion, because there have been times where I've been drawing something and I was loving the outcome, and then I got to my line art stage and it looks like what just happened? Now I can't give you a specific reason why this happens. Like honestly, my theory is that I don't know what it is, but I feel like the human brain is very attracted to chaos, and not like just straight up chaos. Like I'm talking about like just that flowy, natural looking state when it comes to artwork. It gives a little bit of realness to it that I just can't put my finger on. And then when you add line art, it kind of takes away all of that movement, all of that flow, that dynamism. Is that how you say dynamism? I'm not no English major, bro, so I don't really know. But regardless, that's my theory. And I've been really playing around with sketching and not lining it up. A lot of my older artworks always used very clean, crispy lines. And listen, doing crispy line art is a skill. Like if you can make it look good, that's a talent right there. And by the way, this video is not a knock on line art or a knock on clean line work, because there's plenty of artists out there who use very clean, crispy, smooth lines in their drawings and they look amazing. The video isn't to discourage you from doing line art. It's more of just like a invitation to an idea that you might want to dabble with. It's mostly for the artists who actually don't like doing line art and struggle with doing line art, or at least making it look good. I've had a lot of people complain or tell me how, oh, they love to draw, but whenever they get to a line art stage, it's always a headache, and whenever they do line art, it looks terrible and awful, and it's like, what the heck just happened? Because I had an amazing sketch, but the line art looks doo-doo. And like I said, I can't really explain why that happens. It's not because you're bad at doing line art. It's probably because your style, you know, maybe you're just more attracted to not as non-clean lines. So that's why this video is here, to let you guys just embrace the messiness and the untidiness of the drawing. Because who says lines gotta be crispy and lined and pretty? Like no one said that. There's not a rule to art, you know. There's no rule to it. So that's why right here in the speed paint, this is a elf OC that I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing like a short mini comic for this webtoon entry competition I'm doing. So I'm just low-key playing with designs and stuff like that, and honestly, I'm just doing it very quickly and not worrying about crispy line art. Because usually my process has like 3 phases. I have the rough sketch, which is like a quick, dirty, just get it down the paper kind of sketch. And then I got a cleaner sketch, and then I have my line art. So what I'm doing right here is I got to my not cleaner, but I guess more refined sketching process, and then I just added my color. I said no line art. Nope, not doing that. Just no lines. Just jumping right into the coloring. And honestly, it's not that bad. Like, I love this style. I've been playing around with it for a long time. And honestly, it's looking good. Like I can still get a really nice drawing that looks clean. Like it looks clean, but if you zoom in on the like the little microscopic lines, you can see that it's not the actual line work, which is usually much more smoother and crispier. So you're gonna be seeing this style a lot more now. So you're welcome. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing my clean line work. Like I think I work too hard to get my line work to a point where it's like nice and clean. So like giving it up completely would just be like a waste. So I'm still gonna make artwork with that line art style, but I am gonna be doing much more quick renders and quicker drawings with this less, less clean looking look. Because it looks nice. I challenge all my artists out there to try and play around with this style, Try to just do a rough sketch, quick and dirty, and then do like a rougher sketch on top of it, and then try to color it and see how well it looks. Adding in your shading, adding your lighting, and you can tell just by adding the coloring and shading, it brings it all together and makes that messiness look a little bit more clean. And it also does one thing that I think line art takes away. It keeps that movement. It keeps that flow and that dynamic movement in your lines whenever you keep this sketch. At least, a lot of times artists, they would start drawing a picture, have their sketch, and then they would just get rid of the sketch. They'll just delete it, or they'll erase it, or they'll lower the opacity on it, and it'll just be gone, and the line art will be left. And that's fine. Like you can keep on doing that if you want to, and if you like that style. But a lot of times the drawing becomes stiffer and less I don't know how to say it. It just becomes more rigid whenever you do that. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. That's why I think that having your sketch remain in your drawing will keep your drawing less stiff, in my opinion, and make it look more flowy. Also, hey guys, here's the handheld AJ. Just want to show you guys just the difference. Right here is the drawing that I was doing the speed paint earlier in the video, and well, you can see like from a distance, it looks nice, like it looks clean. And then once you actually get in close and zoom in, you can see all the small imperfections. The lines are not messy, they're not matching up. There's even little gaps here and there. Some lines cross over, and that is the imperfections that I feel like gives the drawing more life. That once you start adding cleaner line art, it makes your drawing look more rigid and stiff, in my opinion. So it's just something you can think about, decide which one you like the best. So long story short, it's definitely a preference. Obviously, not everyone's going to like this way of drawing. Not everyone's going to think it's nice. And that's perfectly fine because art is definitely subjective. And even artists have their own subjective ways of doing things, Not every artist is going to like the way these messy lines look. Some artists prefer the cleaner look. And that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with the art style or your art at all. Just a guy sharing an opinion. As someone who they like all their drawings used to be clean lines, and then moving into this more dynamic line form and line art, I really do like it and enjoy it. And hey, you can do both like me. I'm doing both. I'm not doing one or the other. I can do both because that's just what I do. I also save so much time. I did this entire piece in like an hour and 30 minutes. And that's only because I did 3 versions. I did like a full body, half body, and a headshot. But if I did just one drawing, it would take me less than that, like maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But anyway, y'all, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. It helps out a lot. Don't forget about the sale on my brushes. They're going to all be on sale for $12 for a whole week. So cop it right now, and peace out.